All right, here we go. $500 in cash every single week. $500 could be yours. We're going to give away $500, Jeff, every single week, and it starts next week. It's called the KZOZ Big Gas Grab.
I just can't do it.
Price at the pump got you down?
There goes my beer money.
93.3 KZOZ and Perry Ford Lincoln want to help. Presenting the KZOZ Big Gas Grab.
We got $500 in cash. That's gas money every Monday for the next 5 weeks.
You want in? Win any contest with KZOZ now through May 20th, and you're in to win that cash. Plus, listen for KZOZ's Big Gas Double Plays.
Weekdays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Catch 2 in a row from any artist, and then text GAS, G-A-S, to 805-543-3693. Be ready to answer, because that next call could be us getting you qualified.
Free gas, baby.
Yeah, and if you don't answer, we're calling the next guy.
The KZOZ Big Gas Grab from Perry Ford Lincoln. Selling or trading your car, truck, or SUV? Perry pays top dollar for your vehicle. Whether you buy your next vehicle from them or not, Perry's got it all. 93.3 KZOZ rocks.
Look at those prices.
$80.
Check the details at KZOZ.com.
How about $500? Hopefully you were paying attention. It all starts next week. Every time you win a prize or you hear a KZOZ artist played back-to-back, get through on the text lines, and you could get yourself into win that $500. Thanks to our friends at Perry Ford Lincoln.
For me, that's like 3 weeks of gas. I'll take it. I'll sign up. By the way, speaking of signing up, you got all this information 2 minutes ago. If you have the KZOZ app, get it in the Google Play Store, on the Apple Store. What they call that? The App Store, Jeremy?
It's an app store, Jeff, yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And then, you get these notifications. So it pays to have the KZOZ app because
it's free,
you're not
too.
You're not at the mercy of Van Halen's Jump or whatever song we just played. What song did we just play?
We just played, well, we were talking to Robin, but before that we played Ozzy. So.
Oh, okay. See?
Yeah,
there you go.
So there you go.
I know one friend we have, and that's in Oceano. Our diesel friends. We have diesel friends in Oceano.
We do. And they work on RVs, they work on trucks, and they also manage and work on fleet vehicles. They are California Diesel and RV. Find them on 1189 Pike Lane in Oceano.
How pathetic can some people be?
I like being in New York, so I love public transportation. I take the bus everywhere. Like, if you're not taking public transportation, you're f***ing up. It's the best. It's like a National Geographic special that you just get to be in for $2. There's creatures everywhere. This happened to me. I was on the bus, right? This woman gets on the bus, and she's with her kid, and she's not paying attention to this child at all. Like, this is a feral child at this point. Every time, like, she's sitting backwards on the bus seat, so every time it stops, she's just bouncing her face. But as a parent, you're supposed to pay attention to that. Here's where it gets weird. Out of nowhere, this child just starts climbing into my lap. You ever see someone who doesn't like dogs meet a dog? And I was like, oh, she's cute. Does she have her shots? Does she bite? Someone want to... I don't like to judge parents. It's not my place. I don't have kids. But if your child's first response to this is to snuggle, you up somewhere. Like, your is supposed to be afraid of monsters. This is not where the wild things are. This is real life.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Oh, Jeremy, it's getting to the point where you can't take your kids for a walk in the stroller. Greenville, South Carolina. Here's the news report.
Greenville police are looking for a suspect accused of hitting people with plates of whipped cream. Police say at around 2:30 today, they responded to a location on the Main Street Bridge. A woman says she was walking on the sidewalk, pushing her child in a stroller, when police say this person hit her in the face with a plate of whipped cream. Police say this has happened several times today. If anyone can identify the suspect, they're asked to call Crime Stoppers. Greenville police are looking for...
It's so funny because the news report that we just played, they show the picture of the guy, and he's looking up at a surveillance camera holding a plate of whipped cream and smiling as if to say, ha-ha, look at me, I'm right here. And You could see the guy as clear as day. I mean,
Okay,
I will put a link to this.
We got to clarify
in Greenville.
some things here. Okay, so number one, the guy is sitting there with a plate of whipped cream, and he's getting ready to hit somebody, and he targets a mom pushing a stroller. Like, that's not cool. I mean, it's funny until you hit a mom in the face. It reminds me of the story where the homeless guy came out and slapped the kid in the stroller like 5 years ago downtown San Luis Obispo. We don't have a homeless problem. Not at all. Remember, that really wasn't, that was swept under the carpet. Because we don't have a homeless problem. If we had a homeless problem, if it would have been a college kid, then it would have been frontline news. But we don't have a homeless problem, swept under the rug.
My favorite homeless story in San Luis Obispo will forever be. It was before it was Old Slow Barbecue. It was like a coffee shop. You remember down there off of
I do.
Napomo and
Where the parking lot is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's when KCOY was located in Santa Maria, and they did the news story on it, and they happened to be down there covering another news story, and they noticed some lawn chairs up on the roof, and there were guys living up on the roof, and nobody, like in plain sight for like a long period of time, and nobody even bothered to say anything or even notice them. They were just hanging out. They had rooftop property downtown San Luis Obispo. And I just thought that was just amazing. But do you remember Tom Green? Tom Green used to go around doing stuff like this, just like run up to random people and hit people in the face with a whipped cream or start.
Well, he started it, and then Jackass had a whole series. They did the same, but they usually did it to each other. But
yeah,
I think Tom Green got in a little bit of trouble for that. So they're like, "Oh, we'll just beat up each other."
So if you're in Greenville, South Carolina, be on the lookout for a guy that. You could see the surveillance photo of the guy holding the whipped cream over on our Facebook page right now. And this guy's just flying in the face of conventional wisdom as he's smiling at the surveillance camera saying, "Yep, it's me. I'm the one with the whipped cream.
I'm the whipped cream bandit." Look at him. Look at the smile on his face.
Guy? I know. How can you not catch him? Like, it's pretty obvious. The guy is... I mean, it could be in 4K, and it wouldn't be more obvious. Oh, man. Hopefully they find this guy, because that's not cool to be hitting moms in Greenville, South Carolina with...
Well, thank God it was just whipped cream.
Yeah.
If your wife came home and said that some random guy just put a plate of whipped cream in her face and she still had a little in her hair and she was okay, would you laugh or would you be angry? I might laugh.
I would be fearful for the man's life because my wife don't mess around when it comes to...
Oh, by the way, I ran him over with the minivan.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to get it to the car wash. You need to get it to the car wash. There's, I think there's a upper lip down there.
Yeah, there's some hair stuck in the grill.
Yeah. Use the power washer, okay? I do a good job.
Congratulations to the man who's going to get caught because that surveillance photo is just too clear as day. You're Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day.
It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
Did you hear what Tom Brady tweeted yesterday in response to Elon Musk buying Twitter? This is pretty funny. Very funny Tom Brady stuff. He says, if you buy Twitter, can you delete the combine photo? I guess there's an unflattering combine photo of the early days of Tom Brady floating out there that a lot of people use in memes and things along those lines. And then he tagged at Elon Musk on that one. Now, we have the poll question today, KZOZ.com. Do you think Twitter would be better under Elon Musk? If you answered that poll question, Jeremy, what would your answer be?
I would say yes, but I mean, I've done the research. I know a little bit about it, but I'm afraid that most people don't know. So I don't know how that would go.
Here's your options. Yes, it's gone off the rails. No, it's fine how it is, and does not apply to me. I've never been Twittered. 50% of the people saying it does not apply to me. I've never been Twittered. The other 50% saying, yes, it has gone off the rails and that it would be better. Nobody is saying that Twitter is fine the way it is. That's currently the results of the KZOZ.com poll question brought to you by SurfNet Communications. They're your leader in rural broadband services. So give them a call. Click on the link, KZOZ.com. 41 billion, 42 billion. What's the number that he'd offered up? If you were a shareholder in Twitter, say just a moderate shareholder, not a big, large stakes shareholder in Twitter, would you want the board to accept this offer?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm not aware of that's going on with what the board may think. But I mean, as somebody who wants it to be an open platform, I think it's a great idea. Somebody doesn't want free speech to be taken away from people, that people should be able to get on there and say what they want, then I think it's fine. There's actually, coming from the left, I was reading a story yesterday, I think out of MSNBC, that they say there should be more restrictions on social media, more governing. We should have more say on what is okay to publish and what isn't okay to publish. And that is a democracy. That is not a democracy.
That's the thing, Jeremy. I mean, it's the ones that are crafting the narrative have all the power. If a guy comes along and he's like, you know what, I'm thinking about taking away all your power of crafting this narrative, then that's going to get those people scared. So what are they going to do? Their only defense is to craft more narrative, and that narrative needs to be like, oh well, because I heard the argument yesterday, and I got to tell you, the thought crossed my mind, how dangerous is for one man to control the social media. But then I started thinking, there's other social medias out there that one person controls, and the marketplace decides on those social medias. And in the instance of Facebook, which is controlled by one man, it does pretty well. But in the instance of, what was the one that Donald Trump started, Truth Mobile, it's not doing very well. So it just depends.
Well, he has his Trump one too. I don't know. He's got a bunch of stuff going on there.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's all the marketplace will decide. So if Elon Musk ends up and everybody's like, well, we're not comfortable with a platform in which one man owns, then they'll leave. If they're like, hey, if they're of the mindset that, you know, well, now freedom of speech has been restored to Twitter, then they'll go to it. Now, there's a reason why Twitter stock jumped considerably when Elon Musk acquired 9% of the shares, because people in the marketplace have faith in Elon Musk's vision for Twitter. If he were to dump his 9% of the stock today because he's like, because he issued a statement yesterday saying, I don't trust the leadership of the company, I need to take it over fully, when he put his offer in with the SEC, then I would say that the price of Twitter's evaluation would take a dive if he was to dump his percentage of the stock today. So
anyways, right now we want to know what you think. Yeah. Do you think Twitter's better off with Elon Musk right now? 77% of people are saying yes, it has gone off the rails. It would be better with Musk. Nobody is saying no, but 28.5% are saying it does not apply to me, never been Twittered. But really, at the end of the day, it's just a question. What do you think? It doesn't matter if you're a Twitter or not. I'm not a Twitter. I don't have a Twitter account. We have one that we use to post our podcast link throughs. But it should still, yes or no? The question we're asking you here is, do you like the way that Twitter is going, or do you think it needs to change? You can let us know. KZOZ.
Jeremy hates that third option.
KZOZ rocks the 805.
Happy Friday to you. By the way, coming up here in a little bit, we're going to be doing an instant Leonard Skinner giveaway. Leonard Skinner's going to be at the Chansey Casino coming up. Don Felder's opening up the show. Freebird, just text it one word all to 805-543-3693.
You know what we should do? I feel bad for the Don Felder people. Maybe we should go back and give one of those guys a call and see if they want to. Because you want to see Don Felder, you got to go to see Leonard Skinner. To see Don Felder, you got to go to Fresno. See him at Chuck Chansey.
So you're saying, how did we? I forget how we were doing that.
Well, some people won prizes. I don't know if it was Know the Show. I don't know what it was. We were giving them away at the end of last month, and I mean, I've got a list of names right here in front of me. And these people, they didn't get a chance to see Don Felder, like a make good, if you will, like say, hey, you know what, we gave you tickets to a show that never took place. If you want to go see that guy,
that's just going to upset all the people that text the word Freebird in, and we didn't call them. They'll complain and say,
maybe give them a piece of your mind. We got more to give away, Freebird people. We've got a lot more to give away.
We have a lot more to give away. That is very true.
Maybe we'll give John, Richard, Mark, Ryan, Nick a call. Say, hey, feel kind of bad about what happened with Donnie Felder at the Fremont. It was beyond our
If you text
control.
the word Freebird in, text the word Freebird in, and then in another text right after that, why don't you text your name in so we know who the hell we're talking to? Because all we have is phone numbers here. It'd be nice to see, a Tom or a Jerry. Or a Tom and Jerry.
Does it got to be Tom and Jerry?
No, it doesn't.
That
was the first thing that came to mind.
Fight each other?
Pat Sajak is apparently in a little bit of hot water. Is this cancel culture? You take a listen here of what he said to Vanna White.
Are you an opera buff at all?
Yes, I'm not a buff, but I like opera.
Have you ever watched opera in the buff? I'm just curious.
No.
Apparently we can't make jokes anymore. Is that the problem? Is that what cancel culture is upset about? Is that we can't make jokes
Some on
anymore?
social media think that he was caught in a Me Too moment when he made those comments. There was an opera singer that was a contestant on the show, and that's what he was talking to her about. And people are very sensitive, Jeremy.
Well, it says here that he says he was inappropriate with Vanna White. He was asking Vanna White. Listen again.
Are you an opera buff at all?
Yes, I'm not a buff, but I like opera.
Have you ever watched opera in the buff? I'm just curious.
No.
I mean, come on. We all know why Vanna's there from the beginning, all right? And maybe she's just great at letters and her personality is taken over. But they hired Vanna White to turn letters because she's a very attractive woman. I believe she was a model at the time when she came on the show. And so, yes, come on. Are you kidding me? You can't say, do you ever watch it in the buff? I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny, but that's too bad. It's too bad that's now that I'm almost mad I brought it up because it just gives the cancel culture more power. Let me just bring it up by saying this is the problem with America and everybody.
This is the problem with Twitter right now. This is why Elon Musk is trying to buy it, because people on the Twitter went on there and they started saying, "Oh, when did this show turn into Wheel of Fortune After Dark?" and started lambasting Pat Sajak for basically doing his job, keeping it light. He that's it. He has about 10 seconds at the end of the show to end it out on a funny note. He's not going to nail it every single time, but he's got to at least try. That is his job. You're going to go after him for doing your job because you're sitting behind your Twitter account. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. You know what? I need to say something about that. God. Oh man, it makes me so mad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Buff at all?
Yes, I'm not a buff, but I like opera.
Have you ever watched opera in the buff? I'm just curious.
No.
You ever sit around naked and play with yourself and watch opera? I mean, it's not like he said that.
Jeremy, God.
It's not like he said that. He just said, you ever watch it in the buff?
This is why the guy that wears his shirt 2 days in a row is not the host of Wheel of Fortune, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you're missing the point. I would never do that as the host of Wheel of Fortune. I'm telling you what I wouldn't do.
But the thought crossed your mind.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.